Now that One Piece has done well, and they finally proven not to really mess with the source material of a masterpiece, uh, maybe we can get some faithful adaptations in the future. Netflix stupidly wanted to change the perfect formula of Death Note, and we also what happened with that one. They changed Cowboy Bebop too much. People didn't like that either. So now we got a more or less faithful adaptation of One Piece to what the appetites of America and the entire world. So what's next when it comes to other anime adaptations that could work out in the long run? There's two things that studios think about when it comes to adapting something for the for the long haul. How cheap it will be to make, and how much they can get out of it. The reason why these two characters are here is because they both surpassed 1,000 episodes when it comes to anime TV episodes. Both One Piece and Detective Conan have over 1,000 episodes. So this one over here has more episodes than One Piece is. However, this is story structured where they have to follow a certain story formula all the way to the end. This is more or less a sitcom style of show where good things happen and then gets resolved by the end of it. Sometimes there'll be multiple episodes in a row where things really get heated up, and then it'll end by the second or third episode. But you don't have to watch every episode in a row. You can watch any episode anytime you want. That would be the greatest thing in the world for Netflix to adapt. One Piece is not as worldwide known as Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or even Bleach. Sadly to say, but in Japan, One Piece is like number one. One Piece number one, I would say Dragon Ball Z number two, probably Naruto number three. That's just off the top of my head there. Demon Slayer probably number four. Things like that. My Hero Academia number five. Things like that. But making something adaptable, something usable, is I would think there's no other better choice for a adaptation than Detective Conan. I've never seen a single episode of Detective Conan when something looked impossible to do in real life. Never. If you, there are X sequences in the show, there are close-ups in the show, there are cool angles of the show that make it really cool looking in anime form. But when it comes to like creatures and like environments and cool special effects, Detective Conan has virtually none. It has stunts for like sometimes the movies and sometimes the episodes, where he's in a helicopter or skateboarding like in the middle of a freeway, jump like avoiding traffic to get a killer, like aiming at certain spots. There, bank shotting the tranquilizer dart off certain things, things like that. The soccer ball coming out of his sneaker, things like that. That's kind of effects thing right there, but it's not really all the damn time. The main thing that happens in each episode of Detective Conan is that he puts somebody to sleep with like a simple, like almost invisible dart. They fall asleep, and he tells everybody what happened because no one believes the little kid, but he's actually smarter than all the adults. So he puts somebody to sleep. That doesn't take anything. That's the main thing he does, and that's not something done often in America. If I was if I could be on the team that says what can we get next, it's not owned by the same company as this one, so it's a little bit different to get that kind of stuff. If I was to do this one, I would do this one. I would get this one. The main issue with Detective Conan is the main character. The main character looks like a 8-year-old, but he has the mind of someone way above his years. A super high IQ level. He's essentially like a relatively like freshman college student or like a senior in high school, but he's super duper ultra smart. His father was a detective, and his mother was I forget who it was, but like somebody born like a lawyer or something like that. So he comes from really good stock, So he has the brains already in his DNA for sure, and other people around him are smart as well. So you team up with them to solve crimes. So it's a really good adaptation to do. I'll show you some characters here. I know this is a dumb meme chart, but this is essentially all the characters in the show. But not literally, but like the main ones are essentially in this row. Not her, but Sonoa. Yeah, but all these characters here are the main characters right here. I believe that's his dad right here. That's his mom. These are the main bad guys that are like he's trying to hide from. He's the Detective Zenigala, if you will, of Lupin the Third. He's always there, but he's a good guy this time. He's the main guy he puts to sleep. That's his main love interest per se because they were the same age, but it's complicated. He's one of the main bad guys too. But oh yeah, here's his other. I think that's what's his teenage form looks like. That's his IQ partner in crime right here. As you can see here, nothing over the top, nothing like extreme. Right, all these could be more or less real people. The main thing, like I said, is the main character. The main issue is this guy, kid, Edogawa Conan, Shinichi, if you will. The problem is that, yeah, he's a kid. And if you want to have a show that goes on for a long time, you can't use a real kid and have it last that long. The kid here obviously looks like he's, 7 years old? You can't have a kid 7 years old for 20 years. It doesn't work that way, in case you didn't know. So doing that in live action would be kind of an issue. Everybody else could go a long way. I mean, like, you could have, like, the teenagers, like, pass for that one for, like, 10 years, maybe. But the main character passing for that size, that size age for that long, that's very difficult. Which is why I've seen nobody else do that. So I kinda maybe would take liberties with that. Maybe, this is on top of my head. This is really stretching it here. Maybe, just maybe, you had the show run like the same formula, but every 5 years, something happens to the kid. Maybe he gets to grow to an adult and he ends his storyline, and then someone else gets put in that, some other kid gets put in that place there, and you repeat the cycle over and over again. But the odds of some other person having the same IQ level as him, very, very rare. That's why it works in Japan in anime, and yeah, it's because of the kid being really smart. You could do stories of this kid, like someone getting killed from jealousy, or like because something got cut off there, you stole money from somebody, things like that. That kind of stuff happens in the show. It's a very adult show, so you could do the stories. I'm not sure how you wrap things up in a very cool way. There's up for somebody else to think of, but it might be able to be done. But the main thing is the main character looking young, impressionable, but being really smart. So yeah, I don't see how they're going to do that one. Let's go to the other popular animes out there. Let's see if they can do that. Bleach. They tried Bleach in Japan. It didn't look so well, and I don't think Bleach's appeal of soul reaping is very palatable to the masses. Being a pirate sailing the seas, going on adventures, that's universal. That's why it worked on me. It worked on a lot of people because going on adventures is it's very universal. But soul reaping, not so much. I wouldn't waste my time with that one. Haikyuu, I forget what that's about, but it's a sports anime. So like maybe not. Let me take a quick look. No, Naruto, of course. Naruto is super popular. It could be done. I was thinking about this one, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Naruto. It could be done in live action. take the character signature looks, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Gaara, Rock Lee, things like that, or so like you can make the characters look the way they do, but the effects and powers could be done in a way like Gaara's sand powers could be done in live action with CG, of course, and it could translate well. But because the anime itself is so slow, you can get away with having lulls in the action, so it's not impossible to do. But I would take a chance on if I was a businessman in that particular company, I would take a chance on Naruto and trying to make it into live action, see what happens. Because ninjas are always popular. It's the same company that owns One Piece, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Attack on Titan, that's more difficult because the purpose of the show is giant creatures. So, if they want to take a chance, they could. I would do it as a special rather than investing in 8 10 episode format. Do a special of it. It probably will do well, and do things up with that one, but not long series on that one. It's too expensive to do in live action. But I would take the risk and put it in a special, and that's it. Fairy Tail, that wouldn't work. Darn it, it's Japanese only. My Hero Academia, with the kids and costumes and the effects, the closest, the cinematography, it's best in anime, but it's not impossible to do in live action. It's weird looking, especially like All Might and All for One, kind of weird looking in live action, I bet. But I would take a chance on that one. I would put it in episode format. Condense some stuff there. So I don't think it's impossible. It could be done. It could be done. My Hero Academia. Redo Death Note. Chan, Japanese only. Hajime no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo, aka The Fighting, essentially he's a boxing anime. A kid who's a loser. He gets beat up by some bullies. A strange guy comes out of nowhere, teaches him how to fight, goes to a gym. Hilarious things ensue. He gets stronger. He goes into the circuit. He starts kicking ass. There's no monetary issue when it comes to Hajime no Ippo. The main parts of the show is being in a gym and in like a big stadium, a boxing ring. So doing a bunch of locales there. He does the ring. He's mainly there at the gym. He does road work, just jogging, and he gets in the ring. That's nothing not different. Occasionally, he goes to the doctor fishing, but it's rare. So like it's not impossible to do, and I think it would do well because fighting is universal. I would take a chance in this one. It has a lot of episodes. It has a lot of chapters, bro. Way more chapters than episodes by far. So there's a lot to pull from. So you could skip around the things. I would take a chance on Hajime no Ippo. Probably in episode formats because you want to tell the story of how he became like number one, if you will, and then lost it all. So it's not impossible to do. I would take a chance on Hajime no Ippo, called the Fighter instead of Fighting. So that's it for now. What anime do you think would work in live action? Let me know in the comments. We'll discuss. That's it for now. Clack off.